Welcome back to our world of automotive excellence, where today we are witnessing a rare moment of horological and mechanical synchronization. Every so often, a vehicle emerges from a private collection that doesn't just represent a model era, but serves as a literal time capsule of a pivotal moment in sports car history. We are talking about an absolutely mint condition 1991 Porsche 911 Turbo, specifically the legendary 964 generation, which has just surfaced on the market with an incredible 16,000 miles on the odometer. For the purists and the high-stakes collectors, this is the automotive equivalent of finding a masterpiece hidden in an attic. The 964 Turbo is widely regarded as one of the most visceral and visually commanding silhouettes to ever leave Stuttgart, and seeing one in this untouched state is a powerful reminder of why the Turbo badge carries such immense weight in the hierarchy of performance. When Porsche introduced the 964 Turbo in the early 90s, they were tasked with the impossible job of succeeding the iconic 930. While the 964 brought significantly more refined aerodynamics and a much more sophisticated chassis, it retained the raw, rear-wheel drive spirit that defined the turbocharged 911 experience. This particular example, finished in a stunning and period-correct Guards red over a pristine black leather interior, looks as though it rolled off the assembly line at Zuffenhausen just yesterday. The paint depth and clarity are exceptional, showing no signs of the typical road rash or weathering one would expect from a vehicle that is now over 30 years old. The iconic whale tail spoiler sits proudly at the rear, not just as a design statement, but as a functional aerodynamic necessity for a car that was once the benchmark for top-end speed. Underneath that legendary rear decklet lies the heart of the beast, a 3.3-liter turbocharged flat-six engine. While later versions of the 964 would eventually receive the 3.6-liter unit, many enthusiasts prefer the 3.3 for its historical connection to the original turbo lineage. This engine produces a healthy 315 horsepower and 332 pound-feet of torque, sent exclusively to the rear wheels via a 5-speed manual transmission. In an era where modern supercars are governed by computers and dual-clutch gearboxes, the 964 Turbo offers a mechanical purity that is increasingly rare.
It is a car that demands respect and skill from its driver, rewarding precision with a surge of turbocharged power that is famously addictive. Given the low mileage of this specific unit, the engine bay is a sight to behold, with all original stickers, cadmium-plated hardware, and cooling fins appearing in factory-fresh condition. The interior of this 1991 masterpiece is a masterclass in German ergonomics and luxury. Stepping inside is like walking back into a 1991 Porsche showroom. The black leather seats show virtually no bolster wear, and the carpets remain plush and unfaded. The classic 5-gauge instrument cluster sits behind the original 4-spoke steering wheel, with the odometer reading exactly why this car is making headlines across the auction world. Every switch, from the window lifts to the climate control knobs, retains that tactile, heavy-duty click that Porsche was famous for during this era. Even the original Blaupunkt head unit remains in place, a detail often lost to aftermarket upgrades in lesser examples. It is a space that emphasizes the driver, free from the distraction of modern screens, focusing purely on the relationship between the pilot and the machine. What makes this 1991 Turbo even more desirable is its documentation and provenance. In the world of high-end Porsche collecting, a low odometer reading is only half the story. The other half is the paper trail that proves the car has been loved and maintained, despite its lack of use. This vehicle comes with a comprehensive service history, original books, and the coveted Porsche Certificate of Authenticity. It has clearly been kept in a climate-controlled environment, as evidenced by the lack of any dry-rotted rubber seals or oxidized aluminum components in the undercarriage. The iconic 3-piece Speedline wheels, which are worth a small fortune on their own, are free of curb rash and still shine with their original factory luster. The 964 Turbo was a bridge between two worlds. It featured the classic air-cooled technology that defined Porsche for decades, while introducing the coil spring suspension and power steering that made it a much more capable Grand Tourer than its predecessors. For many, this was the last of the truly analog turbos, before the 993 introduced twin turbocharging and all-wheel drive. This specific Guards red example represents the pinnacle of that analog era.
As market values for air-cooled Porsches continue to defy gravity, a sub-20,000-mile 964 Turbo is no longer just a car. It is a blue-chip investment asset. However, to view it strictly as a financial instrument would be a disservice to the engineers who labored to make it one of the most exciting cars of its decade. As this 1991 Porsche 911 Turbo prepares to find a new home, it sparks a debate among enthusiasts. Should it be driven or preserved? With only 16,000 miles, every mile added is a calculated decision that affects its future value. Yet, the 964 Turbo was built to be unleashed. It was built for the Autobahn and the winding mountain passes where its turbocharger could truly sing. Whether its next owner decides to keep it as a museum piece or finally let it stretch its legs, there is no denying that this is one of the finest survivors of its kind. It is a stunning reminder of a time when the 911 Turbo was the undisputed king of the road, a machine that was as intimidating as it was beautiful. For the lucky individual who secures this auction win, they won't just be buying a car, they will be taking stewardship of a piece of automotive legend.